A local museum in Jamestown is getting ready to debut a new exhibit focusing on the LGBTQ plus community in Chautauqua County. As WNY News Now's Claire Galt reports, the Fenton History Center is set to open the exhibit titled Protest and Pride next week.
And I like to say it happened in the place where all the good ideas in Jamestown happen, in Wegmans parking lot.
That's Noah Goodling, the executive director of the Fenton History Center, who was approached by a member of Jamestown Pride last year, wanting to know what his museum had to offer in terms of LGBTQ plus history. After searching their archives, he realized they had very little on the subject.
I checked and we didn't have anything. We had 2 pins in our collection that had rainbows on them.
In a move to be more inclusive to the history of the entire community, he decided, along with the other board members, that the center should open an exhibit on the local Pride movement.
We made it our mission over the last year or so to collect stories, to collect materials, to build trust with to build relationships with communities, build trust, and make sure that we were doing better in that mission to preserve the history of everybody in our community and to be fully inclusive to the needs of our community.
Since then, he conducted a series of interviews for people of all age ranges and backgrounds who represent that community, accepting historical donations for display as well. The exhibit includes everything from poems to artifacts to flags. It also details the history of local protests calling for equality, and even touts a choreographed dance.
Part of what we want to show is that we don't have much, and that we want people to continue donating to us and continue thinking about things that are relevant to their experience and that would be useful to save, to chronicle that experience.
The museum will take anything that people want to offer, and will even put restrictions on donation release dates if someone doesn't want it displayed for years or even after they die.
A lot of times people feel like their lives or their accomplishments or what is happening right now isn't historical. So they tend to dismiss the things that they've experienced or the things that they own as something, well, that couldn't possibly go into a museum. I'm just an ordinary person. But most of what is in our collection came from ordinary people. It's only through the passage of time and research into what living conditions were like at those other times that things become historical.
So far, they've received mostly positive feedback. And to the negative, Goodling says,
we have a responsibility to serve everybody in our community. We are a non-political organization. We don't choose favorites. We don't just work for the people that we want to work for or the people that come to us with the most money.
The exhibit opens Wednesday, March 31st with a virtual ceremony at 5:30 p.m. streamed online. The museum will then be offering free in-person tours until 8 p.m., showing off the new exhibit. Claire Galt, WNY News Now.
Claire, thank you. The Fenton History Center will continue to accept those stories and artifacts from the community for their archive. Anyone wishing to contribute should contact Noah Goodling, the director at fentonhistorycenter.org.